Hey guys, welcome back to our channel.
Today we've got an awesome lesson for you. We're going to be talking about how to go raw vegan without getting overwhelmed.
Switching your diet from a standard American diet or whatever diet you may be on to a raw vegan diet can be overwhelming. It's because you're changing almost everything up. So really we found out that communities help a lot because like-minded individuals going through what you're going through can really help you with the support needed to get you to your next steps.
Stay tuned until the end to find out more information on our group.
My name's Sean, and here at the Raw Vegan Revival, I'm a juice fast coach, a raw food nutrition coach, and an expert in tattoo health and longevity.
And my name's Kat, and I'm also a raw food nutrition coach, as well as a somatic embodiment coach and an expert in tattoo health and longevity.
If any of this message resonates with you guys today, make sure you grab our freebie in the link below. It's called The Raw Truth. It's a transition guide to going raw vegan, and it includes a 7-day meal plan as well.
So the first thing that you can focus on when trying not to get overwhelmed is don't try to change everything all at once, because unless you feel called to do that, because some people are able to just drop everything and just change everything. But some people need some time and need a transition period, or maybe need to set a schedule for themselves in order for them to know which transitions to make at which times to make it as easy as possible. Because we always say that we started this shift, we started the raw vegan diet just overnight because everything resonated so much with us. We were like, we can't go another day without it. But some people really might need that time to condition their nervous system around this shift that they're making, because it is a big shift. You have to learn like basically a whole new way of living, a whole new way of eating, new way of moving through life. So it's going to take some time to really get everything down, and you don't want to overwhelm yourself by making it seem like you have to do everything all at once.
Yeah, depending on where you are in your healing journey, you may want to do it all at once. We opted for that because when we heard the truth about raw plant-based foods, it just made so much sense to us that it was like a switch was flipped, and overnight we just quit eating all the cooked food and processed foods and started only eating raw foods. Then 2 months after that, our juicer came and we did a 40-day juice fast to really clear out all the old waste that was accumulated from eating the cooked and processed foods for decades. And then we rebuilt our gut bacteria and microbiome up on raw living foods. This was the easiest way for us because it was like a one and done. Like we roto-rooted all the old waste out, and the old waste is important to get out because that gut microbiome can keep you pulled back off the raw vegan diet, because it will cause cravings to like the old foods we used to love and be comfortable with. So if you do the juice fast and clear it all out first, it's almost like a cheat code to going raw vegan, because it becomes a lot easier after that. But if you aren't ready for the juice fast, if you just want to kind of dip your toe in this, you know you need some healthier changes but don't want to go all the way raw vegan yet, you can start by changing out like one meal a day or a couple meals a day. Like it's really easy to make familiar favorites in a raw vegan fashion, and in our group we have a lot of menus that include things like pizza, burgers, tacos, all these things we used to love but in a raw way. So you can start as fast or as slow as you'd like, but we believe it's all about incorporating more nature and live plants, and you're going to get good results that way either way.
And the next one is just stay constantly learning, because if you don't, you might really find yourself up against the wall pretty quickly, because when we have access to all of this information via just the internet, social media and everything, when we decide to make a change, we can be confronted with a bunch of opposing opinions or things that people have to say that don't necessarily agree with what we have learned or with why we're doing this thing. And other people's, and letting those kind of opinions and things creep in can easily throw you off balance, especially when you're not, well versed in the knowledge behind the reason why you're doing what you're doing. So we just always like to say, always keep learning. Try to read some books and find some good raw nutrition books to help broaden your knowledge on this subject a little bit more, rather than just going on Google or going on ChatGPT or going on Instagram and finding some, reels to learn off of, which is great, but that's where you kind of get with the minefield of information kind of thing, and that will easily overwhelm you because you're going to have too many conflicting opinions and too much conflicting information, and that's going to make it seem almost impossible to move forward, because you're gonna have ambivalence and not know what to do or what direction to take. And so that's why learning is just very important. Always keep your mind open to learning new things. And we personally will give you a book recommendation that we love, is Becoming Raw, and it's backed by doctors, multiple doctors, and it's just basically goes into everything that you need to know to be a successful raw vegan, and it goes through a lot of the common oppositions that you'll find online, saying that why you should or you shouldn't be doing this and how unhealthy it is, or whatever you're coming up against that may be conflicting information to you. This book covers it pretty well, so it really helped us get started along our path, and it really got us excited to start diving into this knowledge ourselves and learning things really to the best of our ability, because you don't want to just take and regurgitate information from people, because that's what makes it confusing. You really want to learn it and know this stuff so you know why you're making the choices you're making.
Yeah, you really just want to continue to learn, stay learning. We read that book, Becoming Raw, during the Juice Fast, and this thing got us so motivated and excited for our raw vegan lifestyle after the Juice Fast that we were pumped. Like, we soaked up this knowledge every day, and it kept us very, very excited for the next steps. And I would say just continue learning. There's so much information out there, but the truth resonates at a frequency. And I'm telling you, like, it gets better the more you eat raw. But when we heard about the raw vegan lifestyle and how beneficial it was to the human health, we were like, oh my gosh, this truth resonated with us really, really hard. And since then, we've kind of been filtering out what seems true and what's not based on like scientific studies, results, really just results, and what people before us have done and succeeded with. So in doing that, we kind of found what worked for us. And 2.5 years now doing it, I think it just becomes second nature. You start getting downloads and light codes and information in these foods, because Raw Living Foods has the data and the light codes and the knowledge that we need. It's put in there from the sun and source energy. And if we ingest that, we're going to become more connected to source and the universe, and everything just becomes more clear. And actually life gets a lot easier in more ways than just the physical. Your mental, spiritual, all this stuff increases. And it's just another bonus for going raw vegan. But stay learning and find your why. Finding your why is like the North Star to your healing endpoint. Like our why was to better our health. Let your why be the North Star to get you to achieve your goal. Some people go raw vegan or vegan just for the animals, and that's fine. Your why can be anything, down from like animals, health problem. It can be a lot of things. So find a why, educate yourself, and stay learning, and you're gonna get there. And just keep eating raw plant foods. The more you eat, the easier it gets. Your taste buds change, your gut microbiome change. The stuff starts to become second nature, and we just need more nature.
Yeah, reminding yourself of your why every day is really powerful way to help regulate your nervous system and honestly make it easier for you to make those changes throughout the day. It helps prepare your brain and prepare your body. Like, hey, I am choosing this path today, and this is going to lead me to the best results. And then you'll start asking yourself, like, how can I make this easier for myself? How can I, incorporate more nature throughout the day? You'll start to tweak your mindset and to kind of tweak your thought patterns around how you can really get to your end goal of the day. And that is just essentially staying raw so you can reach the end goal, the ultimate end goal of your why. So yeah, and I like the one really good way that I like to connect with my whys in the morning, and various different whys. A great way to connect in general in the morning is through breath work or meditation or something like that. That really helps you get in the moment and funnel your thoughts into the right direction for the day. And if you maybe are not knowing where to start with meditation, we also have guided meditations, guided breathwork practices located in the group for everybody, just to make it easier to connect with their why and ultimately connect with their highest goals in life overall. And yeah, that increases your power so much, and it makes it, honestly, I found it a lot easier to connect with my why in that way since going raw, because it helps your focus. And it just helps you really realize what you want from life.
So if you like what you've been seeing so far, make sure you like and subscribe, and follow us on our other social medias, TikTok and Instagram at The Raw Vegan Revival. Another thing you can do to avoid overwhelm when switching to a raw vegan diet is don't listen to the naysayers. 95 of us eat cooked foods, standard American, animal products, processed foods, so they don't eat raw vegan. That's a lot of opposing forces. So when you're like the 3% out there doing something different, going against the grain, it's kind of like crabs in a barrel. A lot of people will try to pull you down to their level. Sometimes it's not even intentionally. They just aren't familiar with this higher frequency, and they feel uncomfortable by it. So they like to pull you back down to, the lower vibrational, eating animals, eating cooked food, eating processed foods. And you really just have to, like we talked about earlier, hold on to your why, your vision. Don't listen to the naysayers, because they're gonna be there. These naysayers can even be your friends, your family even. So you really just have to stay authentic to what you're doing and follow that path, because it's not going to be easy. I mean, if we just did the easy thing, we would stay stagnant and not move forward. So I think going raw vegan for me has all been about progression, moving forward, and alignment. And I was stagnant, I wasn't in alignment, and I felt this before when I was eating cooked food. Since going raw vegan, I've become more aligned. I feel like more of who I'm supposed to be, and that's because I did the hard thing. So another tip is just lean into the hard thing. I've learned that over the past 2.5 years being raw vegan. Going raw vegan is hard, but you get good results from the hard thing. And just like anything in life, if it's hard, you're gonna get a better result. So now, since going raw vegan, I kind of just lean into the harder things no matter what aspect of life it is. And I've gained so much from that. I've gained a new perspective and a whole new way of living, and life's become easier because of it. So don't listen to the naysayers. They're there just to hold you back, bring you down to a lower vibration. You need to be the light, the inspiration to shine upon others that there's a better way. And you only get there and get to that point by being radically authentic and staying true to your vision and your why, and taking control of your health.
It sucks when the people that are closest to you end up being the naysayers, and unfortunately it happens a lot, and it doesn't happen out of spite or that they hate what you're doing. It's just that they care about you, and they have not, going back to like number 2, they have not knowledge themselves on the ways of eating only raw plant foods. So they literally don't know. They think that you're going to run into all of these complications and all these problems, and you're going to become nutrient deficient, and you might die because you're only eating raw plants, because they don't know any better, because they have never heard of this before, most likely. So when you find yourself having family or friends or people close to you that end up being naysayers, or ones that aren't necessarily being as supportive on your journey that as you would like them to be, that's okay. Sometimes you just have to accept it and let it go, because just staying in your authenticity, like Sean talked about, and just doing what you're going to do because it's best for you, that's going to eventually, hopefully, most cases, inspires those people who are closest to you to make healthier decisions themselves when they see you thriving from it. And really, on another note, that's just the only thing, that's the biggest thing about the naysayers, is essentially just ignore them. Because if they're having anything to say about your way of life, they are either one, not happy in their own life, they know they should make a change and they're not doing it, or they're just trying to get you back on their vibration because they want to feel more connected to you. Something else that helps, if you have naysayers in your life, or you find yourself coming up with people who are essentially going against your way of living, that's when community comes in really handy, like we mentioned earlier. And that's why we offer it, is because it helped us a lot to stay on track. And if you're surrounding yourself with people who are doing the same things, learning the same things, and they have the same ultimate goals, like maybe not the same exact goals, because nobody has the same exact goals, but when you're moving towards the right direction, the same direction with the right people, it makes all of the difference. It really does. It makes it seem more attainable. It makes it seem more doable. And it just makes it seem like nobody can get in your way, because you're not going to make the mistakes that are going to throw you off track, because you have those people there to, take advice from, ask questions, take inspiration, and all of that stuff. And when you have that, there's no way that you can fail.
Another tip would be just to keep simple meals in rotation. So in the beginning, don't try to swap everything out that you were eating and just do everything raw vegan, unless you're like us and you get hit from that truth. But if not, and you're just kind of testing this out still, it really helps to maybe just make the familiar favorites first. Maybe do 1 or 2 meals a day and swap them and see how you feel with that. And another thing is just being prepared. You have to be prepared. All raw vegan is preparation. There's no cooking, so it's just preparing. So you really got to highlight that preparing word and be alert and aware and conscious of that, because you don't want to be stuck somewhere, because there's not a lot of raw vegan food out there. You don't want to be out during the day and be stuck and be called back to eating some cooked food or fast food just because you didn't find anything around. Another tip is the grocery store. You can really just get everything from the grocery store. It's right there in the produce section, fruit, veggies. You can make a salad real quick. There's a lot of options actually when you open your mind to a new way of looking at diet. So it's really all there. Just make sure you're prepared, because we don't live in a world that's, very supportive of raw vegans yet. So we just have to make it work for us.
Yeah, we always stress to focus on variety and abundance when you're, trying to figure out what to eat or eating raw vegan food, I mean, variety and abundance is important. But when you're first getting started, trying to imagine what variety and abundance actually means can be overwhelming in itself, because then you're trying to figure out 12 million different fruits and veggies to add to your day, when really you just have to get used to the rhythm of eating raw foods, and then once you get used to that, you can start adding in other things. So something that really helped us keep our meal schedules really simple and streamlined is just doing smoothies or fruit for breakfast, do fruit or, you know, something simple for lunch like zucchini noodles, or I mean, if you have a big enough breakfast, skip lunch and just go straight to dinner, you know, and that can be like a big loaded salad. It can be so simple if you let it be, but it can also be really complicated if you make it complicated. So just keep it simple until you get used to it, and then you can start adding in like different gourmet foods and more variety.
The overwhelm can sometimes be mental, but if you switch to trying to do all raw vegan right away without maybe cleaning out the digestive tract first, it may be overwhelming and taxing on the body. If we're coming from a standard American diet type of eating or processed food, cooked vegan food, we have sluggish digestion and we have old waste in our digestive tract. So we really need to get all that out before we can start to utilize and digest the whole plant food fibers that are in the raw vegan diet. So if you just start flooding your body with raw food and you're coming from a diet that's basically fiberless, like the standard American diet, your body's going to get overwhelmed and you're going to get bloating and digestive issues. You'll be cramping, you may have gas, bloating, discomfort, and a lot of times people experience this, and this is why they stop doing the raw vegan or plant-based thing, because they're like, oh, wait a minute, my body isn't meant for raw foods, it can't digest this. But in reality, all you have to do is do that Roto-Root or do the juice fast, detox all the old waste out of yourself, and then you can utilize and absorb all the fiber and nutrients that come in the raw food diet. So that's just another little pro tip. Like, if it's not working for you right off the bat, if you're trying to go hard on the raw food and you're not digesting it, you may need to juice fast. So join the Raw Health Collective like we talked about, and you get that juice fast protocol, the exact one we did to jumpstart into the raw vegan lifestyle. You get it as a PDF in your hand so you can do it at home yourself.
Yeah, and also inside the Raw Health Collective, we have a ton of recipes and a ton of just tips and tricks and things that will be very beneficial for you after you get off the juice fast, to help make sure that, you know, you get your digestion back up and running and don't overwhelm your digestion again. And it just makes the whole transition easier when you have that little pocket book of information just right in your back pocket.
So quick summary on today's video: switching from whatever diet you're on to a raw vegan diet can be very overwhelming on your mind, on your body, on your spirit. So what we like to say is really just find your why, knowledge yourself, keep learning, because that's going to keep you on track, keep you motivated. And also don't listen to the naysayers, because there's going to be a lot of them. Like we talk about, there's a lot of people trying to pull us down to a lower vibration so that they can connect and be familiar and be comfortable and do the same old thing. But hey, we don't want to be stagnant here. We want to keep moving forward and progressing. And I think anyone that's going raw vegan wants that. So this is how we get it, just by incorporating more nature, raising our vibration, being more in tune to the universe and what it has to offer us. And when you do that, you become healed. Like, it's not the raw food that heals us. We're our natural healers. We just have to give our bodies the right fuel so that they can fix themselves. They can work properly like they're meant to work. So, and just keep it simple. Like, the raw vegan lifestyle is very, very simple. I mean, we just prepare food. We don't cook it. It's actually way more simple than any other kind of like processed artificial diet out there. So we like to say just keep it simple. We literally live off like smoothies, salads, and juices primarily, and fruit. So do what you want. It gets complicated if you want to get into like the dehydrated pizzas and all the like desserts and stuff, but it can be very, very simple because nature's simple. And I mean, all the animals out there are doing a simple thing. We need to adopt that too as humans, and we can live a better life.
So if this message resonated with you today and you feel the call to go raw, or you feel like you might need some support on your journey, we would love to have you inside of our community, the Raw Health Collective. That is where we offer all of our support, all of our advice, recipes, action plans, live streams, weekly lessons, all of that stuff is all in this community for you. It's currently 75% off right now. If you would like the link to that, make sure you click in the description on this video and it'll take you right to it.
Yeah, and if you just want like to test out the raw vegan lifestyle for a little bit, grab our freebie, The Raw Truth. The link's going to be below as well. You get a 7-day meal plan so that you can make some food at home, and a transition guide. It's a whole bundle that you can grab, and you can kind of dabble in this yourself. So check that out and join the group for 75% off. And also follow us on our other social medias, TikTok and Instagram, at The Raw Vegan Revival.
Yeah, and we hope you took something away from this video. We hope it helped you today, and we hope to see you in the next one. If you have any suggestions on things that you want us to talk about, or anything that you want to learn, drop them in the comments. We'll get back to you. And until next time, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay aligned.
Peace.
Bye.